Okay.
All right, yeah, go.
There? Okay. Well, when I was working in Mexico City, I had the gift of working at the Regnum Christi Missionaries office. And it was great. Something I loved very much was meeting with the very first missionaries in history and trying to get to know why this program started and what was in their hearts. So in May or summer 2018, I met with like 10 of them, and then I interviewed someone over the phone and over chat. And my heart was just like the apostles, the disciples of Emmaus, was burning, because I was a missionary twice, 1 year in '99 and then another semester in 2001 before getting consecrated. And everything that they were talking about is exactly what I lived and what I love about that program and about Regnum Christi. So what happened? It was 1978, and there were not enough consecrated and priests to go and start Regnum Christi sections in other places and help those new Regnum Christi members in other cities. That's where the formators of the sections came, and they became the Regnum Christi missionaries. It was 1978, and there were two girls first. And they went to Spain to fund Regnum Christi. And then in 1981, that's when the men started. There were two men. That year, 1981, that's when it took a little bit more shape in Santiago de Chile. And there were two girls giving their year. And that's because of the girls that had been there giving the year as a Regnum Christi missionary. That's when the priests opened a house of legionaries, and two guys went with them to be RC missionaries too. So that was the whole idea. It was, okay, Regnum Christi is starting in different places, and there are people interested in Regnum Christi, but they don't know how to start a section. They don't know how to have their encounter with Christ. They don't know how to be team leaders and section directors. So we're going to send these people, these young people from our sections that had very good formation to go and teach them how to do RC, how to live RC. They mentioned they had 5 cursillos, conventions during the year, and if you didn't go to one of them, then you couldn't give the next step. You couldn't go to the next one. So whenever somebody, because of the university, they had missed one of those conventions, another RC member will be giving them the whole thing on a free time, on a weekend or something. And it was through those 5 conventions during the year that they got a lot of formation, also through their apostolate, through spiritual direction, their spiritual life, etc. And then after that, they will go in and give the year. It was from among those members that the whole section will send them. It was beautiful because it wasn't just, I don't want to give a year and I see with my spiritual guide about going. It was, the section is sending you, and the section is doing all these activities to fundraise us to send you, and the section was sending materials for you to do your apostolate, and they will pen pal with all the people there where they were being Regnum Christi missionaries. So knowing the history and seeing what happened in their hearts and how these women I met with, they're just on fire, and they are mothers, they're grandmothers, and they talk about their year as something key for their whole life, and it keeps helping them now in their 50s. So just knowing the history in my heart, and also knowing what I went through as a Regnum Christi member, as a Regnum Christi missionary, what is a Regnum Christi missionary, and also seeing it from having worked in the office and seeing the fire in all these young people, how they come and how they live after their year, and what happens after their year, how they become these great apostles. What is a Regnum Christi missionary? So it's not just any missionary. The name says it. It's a Regnum Christi missionary. So a Regnum Christi missionary is a Regnum Christi member who has identified himself with a specific spirituality, a specific apostolic methodology and charism through Regnum Christi, and has met Christ in such a way through Regnum Christi that that this young person just vibrates with it, and has formed himself or herself so much in all this spiritual family that is already a formator in her own city, in his own city, and now that doesn't fit anymore. Now their heart just wants to go and give more and teach more people about all of this, about this lifestyle, and bringing people closer to Christ. So that's when they decide to go give a year. And they want to bring more people to that Christ that they have met, and to form other formators, and to go for a year somewhere knowing that they're gonna make a change in specific people's lives, and also contributing to the whole Regnum Christi. Something I love about the program also is knowing some of the girls how they would arrive to the missionary summer course. I remember this one, for example, that she was from Bogota, Colombia, and she had very clear how she wanted to live her Christian life and her RC life in many years from the present, and she knew she had all the capability and the fire to be a Regnum Christi section assistant, the right hand of the section director, and to form herself that way. So she was already working towards that, and that helped very much for us to know where to send her during the year. We sent her to a section where she could explode those talents, and that when she would go back, she could be able to take on that role.